Yeah, it's more. They, has Augusta said anything about,
They got two more bills coming in, so they're gonna hold off.
oh, okay. They were on the floor was spending.
Yeah.
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 I'm really clever.
I don't know if you're getting that. But
No.
The one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Something else said, right?
Call the meeting to order. All right, do we have to call her?
She's supposed to call you.
She does call us? Okay, so we'll go to minutes. Can you read the minutes?
Yes, I do. They're also.
Do I lose the minutes? Approve the minutes? All in favor? Minutes for the 25th?
Second.
All in favor? Yeah, there you go. We did that, huh? Payroll.
We had minutes for the 27th. Okay, I know.
That's all on, it's not on my list.
I know, but they're there in the folder.
Okay. They're all done. All right, so. Is the payroll done?
Yeah, that's all.
So we wanna work on the. Minute.
You want to work on the one?
Yeah, we're looking for a phone folder first, I don't care.
All right, that's a good.
Hope that is the one for her. She wanted, no, she wanted, I did.
I guess. This is the. Municipal.
That's your favorite.
Course. Well. For personal practices.
You won't trip over this, will you?
I'll take the whole
You
damn
want me to
thing.
take it over there?
I still dragging behind me, I have to know.
You read that.
I'll just put you.
You want to, Deb?
We do.
Yeah.
We got the information back from Bernstein Sure. First one is planning board ordinance and bylaws. There was two pieces to this. I've been asked to advise select board regarding the town's planning board ordinance bylaws. Town planning board was created by town meeting in '92. This approval also created planning board ordinance. The ordinance addresses a basic composition of board, quorum requirements, and organization. Specifically, the ordinance provides that the board shall be comprised of 5 regular members and 2 associates. These members shall be elected, but may be replaced by the select board if a vacancy occurs. The ordinance also provides that no board meeting shall occur without the presence of at least 4 authorized members. No motion shall pass without at least 3 affirmative votes. Maine law is clear that because these basic requirements were enacted through the ordinance adoption process by the vote of the town, they can only be amended by the vote of the town. An ordinance may be revised on the following procedure required for its original act. Planning board bylaws describe the time and place of meetings, how meetings are called and advertised, agenda items, rules of procedure that the board will use to run its regular meetings and public hearings. These are proper subjects for the bylaws to address so long as they are not otherwise addressed in a state law, local ordinance, or charter. The board is authorized to amend its own bylaws on these subjects. However, in the event of a conflict between the bylaws and the ordinance would control over the bylaws. That is because bylaws of this type are not the same as an ordinance. Issues such as the number of members needed to constitute a quorum, the number of votes needed to approve a motion, the number of absences allowed for a position can be declared vacant, and the deadline for filing an appeal generally must be part of an ordinance or a charter adopted by the town meeting rather than merely in bylaws approved by the board. Unless the bylaws are simply stating a rule that already exists by virtue of a local or state law. That is the case in Brownfield, and those basic stipulations concerning the composition of the board can only be altered by a town meeting vote amending the ordinance. Second, legal rights and obligations are comp plan. Same initial, which you've been asked to a board, you want to advise. First, comprehensive plan is essentially a statement of the policy, priorities, and concerns of the town. Plan is not itself an ordinance or law. However, ordinances enacted to carry out the purposes and general policies of the comp plan must be consistent with the comp plan. so long as they are the requirements of the ordinance are the concrete standards to be applied by the planning board, Board of Appeals, or other municipal boards in making decisions. Comprehensive plan has no independent legally applicable enforceable zoning provisions. Second, although it is true that after a comprehensive plan is enacted, changes to land use ordinances must conform to the general policies and goals of the plan. There's no absolute requirement that a municipality actively update or revise its ordinance. Third, it is also important to note that under Maine law, a zoning or rezoning action need not perfectly fulfill the goals of a comp plan. Perfect harmony with a comprehensive plan is often unattainable and potentially undesirable. Rather, Maine courts have held that a zoning action may be in basic harmony with a comp plan, so long as the zoning action strikes a reasonable balance of the municipalities' various zoning goals or overlaps concerning the plan. Accordingly, if the town's new proposed comp plan will include major changes to the town's goals and priorities,
Brownfield town also.
it is possible that the town's land use ordinances will need to be updated to be consistent with the new comp. So
Name's on my office.
this here,
Should be working. You wanna call her?
so
Yeah, let's call her.
that's comp plan, this is
Yeah,
ordinance.
then you got that little bit there.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay.
I made,
Read their response in its entirety.
Yeah.
I made
Same.
copies.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Planning board to make for the comp plan and
the Bernstein Share thing is done.
Yep.
And I didn't see anything out of place or actually nothing different than what we got from them on the comp plan. And planning board on its bylaws, that was corrected by the town's attorney anyway.
Yeah.
So we're good to go.
So you want to dial her?
you. Rick, you wanna call her? You got her number, right?
I don't know, if I got her not.
I can go in the office and get it if you need me to. I don't know why that didn't work. Rings in here while we are eating lunch.
Hey, Leah. Hello. Hey, hey, how are you? Yeah, no, yeah, well, yeah.
You hear me okay?
Yeah, you're on speakerphone. We've already started the meeting. So,
Jason or
Read these motions.
do we have to read the motions to finalize the, settlement?
Beth.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
you can.
Anybody want that?
Yep.
Brief overview?
Yes.
Okay. If you could, Leah, we got people for a brief overview.
You bet. I'd be happy to do that. So basically, was the agenda item is for the board to agreement and mutual release to the document that basically formalizes the settlement that we reached in principle to mediation in April. What requires mediation. We did have mediation. We will to be agreeable to both parties. Yes. Basically the upshot of finding the litigation basically over to find court what's called, it's called a stipulation of dismissal. That's the way of saying, hey, case is over and we cannot sue the town on any matter related to the issues in this case. So that's really what it is. It's for the town and to the board to basically put their John Hancock on this release that protects the town from future liability and, you know, agrees to pay the employee, or I should say the plaintiff, the former employee, a certain amount in order to settle and to basically ensure that there's no future litigation and it's all over.
Ready to go with that? Any questions?
Yeah, are we allowed to know what the settlement was?
Did you hear that, Leah?
You did.
I don't have the agreement. I have none.
We won't tell us from the Senate.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So how much was it?
Until it's signed and over, at that point it becomes a public document.
Yep.
So.
We would have,
Oh,
then it's now, okay, so it's a public document. Do we still need to come to the office and fill out a form and ask for a copy of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
It is a short document, and if it's just one one document is fine, but give it over without.
okay, once it's done, yeah,
Mm.
that's fine.
How will Ted cover the costs? Like, what fund will it come out of, or is it insurance, or?
Can we talk about that?
Either town meeting to approve that or to
correct.
Right. So the insurance paid less deductible.
Thanks.
So it's fair to say that the previous employee was let go in error, or
Okay. Sure.
Yes.
doing these settlement agreements have a non-liability clause, basically.
I'm thinking that if we didn't have any liability, we wouldn't be paying.
Yeah, go ahead.
To win.
Questions? I make a motion that we approve and execute the binding agreement of settlement terms dated April 13th, 2023, in the matter of Merrill versus Town of Brownfield.
Second.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, please. Yes, ma'am. Sounds good to me. Second.
All in favor? Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
You could. You know, do.
Yep, perfect. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am. Yep, we're all set.
You
Thank
too.
you. Take care.
Yeah.
So we'll sit there. Don't have to record. Spirit of America. Customer service excellence workshop. I don't need to make a motion for that. We got to spend money.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But you need to make a motion for the training.
No, we have started that. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the chairs.
Yeah, that's what.
So how much is it for shipping?
It was between 400 and 700. The first
They
time
give you, they can't tell you how much?
it came up at 600 and something the first time. The next time I went and did it, it was like 419. So I don't dare to say exactly until I press the
There's no
button.
carrier probably.
Yeah,
But they're the only game in town.
they really are the only people that I could find.
Well, MMA said they couldn't even get
You
it.
can see the next company.
They have 600 shipping, they can find somebody for that.
Yeah, we don't know, 700, so. Make a motion.
How many folks would pay up to 600 for shipping and let them figure out the difference? Boy.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to the chairs. So. Large machine. Transportation. Hamilton Meadow. Each of the bridge inspections. Hamilton Meadow. What the hell is that? Where's Hamilton Meadow?
That's on Sam Brown Hill Road.
Oh, yeah. No approach guard or undermining of timber grillage. Oh, I went at the bottom, right there. No, same right here.
Yeah, that's the one, water, the village.
Yeah.
I think it's the one they replaced this wall.
The new one?
Yeah.
Ye-
It's gonna be good. No, garden.
No, being it, your.
It's a never was, so.
I'm sorry, your audio's.
Yeah, it all says Hamilton Meadow.
Should.
Oh, yeah, look.
Okay,
I just said.
Yeah.
so they just did in the address.
Yeah,
We never used, no one did before, but they want new ones now.
yeah, they even come up and inspected it.
That's recording.
Well, on this side, you really can't put a guardrail because that's access for shaky there. Cameron Henderson, as well, right the other side of that.
Show it that it's working. Make it's working.
I guess, I don't know if you can go that far.
Yeah. It's the last couple of talks about that. May 16th at 10, representatives from Jared Golden, Susan Collins' office meet for the community center tour. This is for the IBC building code.
Yeah.
We voted. 2010. Is there a requirement that we vote on this every 4 years?
No.
So I'm
You can use-
last until we bring it up again.
Yeah.
Okay. Drug testing. Drug testing training seminar. Yeah. How would we need to send somebody?
Because they have to send somebody random anyways.
DOT picks a bad number, last number of your signature. There's, well, what's there to train anybody for? Because we want to send them somewhere else.
You have to take them. And you have to take them if there's an accident.
2003. Film rentals, Mike already answered. The minutes for the planning board.
Right?
You could over here, that's what I
Budget.
say.
So hazard mitigation.
More likely it's a spam call.
Assessing market update, says Michelle will take this up for our report, so that's going in the book. Yeah.
We just sent it that one and she's.
Meeting minutes. What I did. This is for the summer schools. Municipal HR and management. And Bob's taking credits out. Sure, yeah. Versions.
We do, we have two versions of the warrant. We have what I call draft 5, and we have what I call draft 6. I'll give you 6, because it is the one with one extra article that was added. I think you've got 2.
Okay. Yeah, you can have one.
The extra article in 6 is 21, I think. '21 is to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate a sum of $11,195 to hire a part-time employee to train and work for the town clerk / registrar. This is based upon a pay scale of $20 per hour for 10 hours a week for 52 weeks and includes the 7.65 FICA. This is just to get someone trained for next year, the possibility that Michelle does not run for the position, or that somebody else wants it and they're already trained for it. It's just preparing the town for the future. That is the article that is left out of 5.
I have a question. So Michelle's position is a voted in position, right?
Right.
So we hire somebody to be trained. We're not guaranteed the townspeople will vote that person in.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It will be covered.
But you at least have coverage when if you get done.
For 10 hours a week.
Look,
That's it.
by that time, it'll be a vote of, depending on what you do on the applicants. Yeah,
So they're not gonna guarantee that we hire this person, that they're gonna get that office.
Right, but if it's voted in somebody that's not qualified, we got somebody that's trained.
To train that new
And
person.
that's on top of the other person we're hiring too, so that we're hiring 1, 2. We have 1, 2.
One for one side, one for-
Well, we have 6 employees in the office, is that what
No,
I'm
'cause
thinking?
there'll be one getting done.
Not necessarily right up quick, so we hired 6 employees next year in June. Be in this office all the time. 5, but I thought you hired 1 for Wanders.
Right,
And
that's
then
true.
Michelle's.
but that's only
And
part.
then you got Lynn, that's 3.
No. Lynn is already in Wanders, so there's 2,
Okay,
2 for Michelle's office
so 5.
and me,
Okay.
But that one is part-time.
this
This
position.
other one would be part-time. It's not a full-time stick position
Right.
office.
Just think about this one in.
Has anybody sat down and had a conversation with Michelle to see if she would be interested? If she doesn't run for the position, in being paid some type of stipend after the election, if she doesn't run, to train whoever is elected instead of the Board of Selectmen, presumably handpicking someone for that position?
We can answer.
You get, if you're listening from other towns, dollars that you could offer a person that's done that position for the past 25 years, you know, $1,000, whatever, offer an amount of money, an hourly wage to train the person for 6 months.
She was quite adamant, she wanted this help, wanted this.
She needs help now.
She wants out. And the thing is, she's got enough time off that the town not covered. That's the worst part of it.
Disagree, but I'm just thinking instead of. People have a problem with that position becoming a non-elected position. I don't know how that's gonna be beneficial when people understand that the Board of Selectmen will be technically handpicking somebody. That could run for that position and take that position,
That's why we discussed it at town meeting.
just saying it once.
It's no different than any other hired person.
Except when that person runs for the elected position, they're pretty much a shoo-in because they've been in here for a year and they know the position. So what I'm hearing is, well, anybody can run for that position, and then we'll have somebody that we've got trained that can train that person. And then is this part-time position gonna go away when somebody else runs for that position, or is this a forever position?
Yeah, you don't, and I don't know, if we hired somebody part-time, would they want to ever become full-time? No idea. My crystal ball is not working this week.
Just thinking that.
Does that position have enough going on in it right now to have 2 people, 1 full-time and 1 part-time?
There are times, and there are times it's very slow. All honesty, I mean, but the problem is the times that she's not here. And then there's somebody has to fill that position.
I absolutely agree with that.
John?
So, this person would be hired at $20 an hour,
Yes,
and what's Michelle make an hour?
Roughly 18
and
change,
That's kind of a slap in the face.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
but it's part-time. This position is a half.
Dude, part-time person getting paid more than the full-time position?
She's got benefits with the full-time.
And paid vacation.
I agree, Michelle should be brought up to more money.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Wonders the same way. You look at the pay scale, it's outrageous.
Yeah,
One gets paid enough for it.
You added the benefit, when you added the benefits, that's $7 to $10 an hour on average, so.
Right.
That's the difference between a full-time and part-time position.
yeah, does make a difference.
so just to carry that a little further, so now we're into next year, and let's say this person who's helping Michelle this year becomes the town clerk. Does that mean her hourly rate will drop? Or we keep it at 20 and then add on FICA and the other benefits. Or the other benefits.
It would have to be up to the town at that point, you'd probably have to, it'd be a town meeting to make the difference to change. And if you don't do the 5%, you're gonna be right close there anyways. You don't get much anymore, $20 an hour.
Like back up. Who's first? Article 8. I know it's 5%. Admin. Ashford, tax collector, town clerk. Assessor, their contract. Keeper, deputy treasurer, asterisk, code enforcement, asterisk. Animal control, 20 an hour, 66. Planning board secretary, asterisk. Rec directors, no asterisk. Please add an asterisk.
You want me to?
Yes.
Okay, because I had asked you that before I did this, so great, thank you. That just seems fair.
Have everybody there. We're not gonna do that. Asterisk will be, and that's for the 5% with the seasonal employee or manpower.
Right,
You are not? Okay,
No, no,
so tell
no,
me
no,
which
no.
ones.
That's what I'm asking.
they up, they up the pay, they up
Those
the pay
positions
scale,
are not.
right, they up the pay scale. On them this last year, didn't they?
No,
No?
it looks like it's
No.
That's why I mentioned
Three.
if it's, if we're,
6,000, oh, 6,000, okay,
so if we're not,
63.
so just ask, but it doesn't matter to me if they do or not. Because we may not use the entirety of the seasonal or the extra manpower. I don't know. We have no numbers, so we can't look to see. We're gonna have leftover. You know what I mean?
Well, Willie's getting a raise, you want to add an asterisk to that?
Well, bookkeeper treasurer. So, what's the difference?
It's bookkeeper,
What's the difference?
yeah, well, that's good to 5%, it's the same, only with 5%, it's the same pay except for the 5%. It's not a pay increase. It's the same pay, only with the 5%.
That's if it doesn't go to full.
Right.
Right.
And so, yeah, I would think you wouldn't want to give them a raise and a 5%.
They didn't get a raise last year.
Yeah.
I don't know, I wasn't here last year.
So. I say asterisk.
Okay, put an asterisk behind who?
Willie, I guess.
Just Willie?
Yes, you.
Okay.
Article 9, any issues? 179.
We went through that, yeah.
Article 10. 5. Should be good. Article 11, 49.5. Fire department. Should go to the fire department. I'd like to discuss that ordinance. I would really like to see that moved to referendum in November. I talked to Leah, asked about the whole payroll issue. Highly recommended that we have a discussion with Kathleen at Village Woodsum to make sure that everything's good to go before this goes to town vote. Payroll, liability issue, questions. Not only that, but we had one public hearing for an ordinance. And it was said there will be no changes. I was caught off guard. No changes. Oh, wait, this is an ordinance. This is going to town vote. A singular public hearing with no changes that are requested by taxpayers. It's no, there will be no changes. I don't see any. That's not fair to the taxpayers. This is an ordinance. This passes. This is town law.
What would you like to do?
Whatever you want.
That was
Go
a,
to November, go to November.
Well, it can still go referendum.
I mean, it still was, all I'm doing is cleaning up. It doesn't cost the town. It's just, Hiram just did it Thursday night. They just voted theirs in. It's an ordinance. Sweden's not limit, all these fire departments are doing this.
Hiram voted their the municipal fire department back in March.
They just
Said
did
it was a 2-year, or
No,
2-year.
they just dissolved Salt Tower Fire Station. They dissolved it. There's
Right,
no
they were
more
consolidating.
They did that.
It went to town vote in March.
They just did it. Special town meeting Thursday night for Maine. They're now a municipal fire department. They did it Thursday. I was in town meeting with the
And
fire chief today.
It was for consolidation.
No, it's fought there and like I'm doing the same exact thing they did Thursday night. I just met with the chief
But
today.
you just said they're closing down South Highland.
They did. Oh, yeah, they
So that's
combined.
what-
They
isn't that a-
they weren't combined.
Isn't that a consolidation?
No, well, they consolidated that Thursday night. They
Hiram and South
dissolved
Highland.
it, dissolved as of Thursday night. They now have one chief that does both.
Yeah,
They just did that.
is that still
Thursday night.
Fiber?
Huh?
Is that still Fiber?
No, it's Eric. Yeah, Eric Norcross is now the chief. The town appointed him,
Okay,
but they voted in their fire department ordinance Thursday night. After Thursday night, the town appointed Eric
Yeah.
as the chief. They are now a municipal fire department.
okay.
And they did that Thursday night with they didn't even have a public hearing. They just put it in. It's the same as mine. It's,
Hiram did put an ordinance out there with no public vote.
yeah, I never saw it out there. They voted it in Thursday night.
An ordinance.
We had a public vote, it was a special town meeting.
Special town meeting.
You said they just voted it.
Yeah.
What?
Regardless, it's an ordinance. It is a,
But
it is a-
it's whatever you guys want to do. I mean, I'm just cleaning it up. We are not a volunteer fire department anymore. Because you pay us, you pay our workers' comp, you pay us, you pay for everything. That is a municipal department. So all we're doing is making a name change from volunteer to municipal.
again, I'm not arguing the point that.
No, but I'm just
But I called the town's attorney. She's the one that reviewed the document.
So why didn't we
And
get
I
copied?
wanted to make sure,
Why didn't we get copied on any of this?
copied on what?
The question and the answer.
you had a meeting with an attorney.
It was on the phone.
Leah,
You told me right in the parking lot as we were coming out. Give her a call. Ask her the question. Because I asked you about
Okay,
it.
because I thought we were gonna get.
And
gonna get-
so I asked, yes, and she told me
Right.
we needed to talk.
You
Wait
know,
a
you done
second.
it though.
Wait a second.
I gave that to Leah.
Hang on,
Okay.
hang on. I called in, hey, and she said, yep, I reviewed the document. You really should talk to Kathleen at Drummond Woodsum and have a discussion with her to make sure everything is good. Okay, fine. I'm not a payroll guy. Are you? No. So
I understand, we're paying,
I fully understand that.
the wages, the way they, by the hour. Over minimum wage, which we have to do.
Have to
With
do that
everything.
anyway. I have to watch that right now because I'm pretty close.
Yep.
And we're not done yet. But if you want to wait till, I don't have a problem. with it.
I suggest that we put it to the November referendum and have more than one public hearing and not tell the taxpayers that there will be absolutely no changes to a document. That if it is voted in, it's an ordinance,
You can make changes at a special town meeting. If it's not-
but why would we want to pull a special town meeting?
You want to wait till November? I'm not sure.
We can pull a public hearing. If there are changes that are agreed upon, the changes are made, we have another public hearing, done. Sign the attested copy, it goes to referendum in November.
Maybe you want to do it.
I want to bring Rick to town meeting, let them discuss it, see what they want to do.
But you can't, it's a referendum, so you'd have to do next
It
year.
is referendum now.
Yeah, so you have to do town meeting or next year, referendum in November.
Yeah, it either would be referendum or town meeting next year.
Leave it, I think leave it. Find out what happens,
The worst thing people are gonna vote it down.
right?
Just saying,
You're crazy.
doesn't matter to me. It's y'all's vote,
Just shady.
just saying.
There was just, sorry, I mean, there was just enough questions at that public hearing. from people that could generate some change on the document. There was some weird wording on document that gave the Board of Selectmen way more responsibility and way more duties in the very first couple paragraphs of that. So I just to silence the public and not allow them to have some input or to have a couple more eyes from the community look at it. I'm just throwing out there that the comprehensive plan has had how many public hearings that were required and changes were made, but this is.
And that's how many, 150 pages, so this is a 2-page thing.
It's a 2-page thing that has a pretty big ramification. It has a lot more weight on the Board of Selectmen in the very beginning of the document. The Board of Selectmen are responsible.
No different than hiring a public works person.
It's gonna be in the warrant, it's gonna be in the articles, let the people decide, that's what this whole thing
The
is.
Board of Selectmen will be responsible for 14 more employees, according to that document.
They are responsible for what
You get on, we are right now,
So what is the
and you sign.
you are.
They'll have a
the
publisher
responsible for all
check
14
into it.
members.
Yeah, oh,
The ordinance,
But not as they're laid out in that document. In that document, they're laid out that they will be responsible, Board of Selectmen will be responsible for job evaluations, everything.
the ordinance is up for review, anybody can review it.
right, it was,
That
It's been out there for a month.
That ordinance has been tucked into a very small print.
You put it in the shopper's guide, whatever,
No,
let the people decide.
you are so shady. I can't even believe it.
It's been at the bottom
I
of the
have
website.
never seen anybody quite as shady.
Transparent as being shady.
You are not transparent at all. And I think you're.
hey, enough, we're not calling names, we're not here to argue, we're here just to.
No.
No, enough, enough,
See it.
enough. You wanna leave, we've had enough. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. No, we're done, we're done. No, you're making comments about a selectman. What is the question?
The question is, we had a meeting, a public hearing, and there were several people at that meeting, taxpayers at that meeting, that asked questions that did not get any answers.
The lady that was sitting in the front that asked the most questions was very satisfied with the answer she got.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was, because she said, thank you, I understand it now.
No, she
So-
did say she understood it now. She didn't get any answers.
Yeah.
She didn't get
Okay.
any answers. I see.
Hey, wonder.
They were at that meeting, they
Yeah,
didn't.
all right, we're all done. Here's the warrant. Keep this. We're all done. We're all done. What's the next one?
Article 12, 57-6.
Yeah,
Transfer
yeah,
It's for the payment of the fired engine. 30,000 to be divided into the 3 capital improvement accounts, Article 14.
Because you didn't.
See it's the town, vote to authorize select board, to the town of Brownfield, for planning, designing, public safety buildings. Yeah. There's any of that. 3,100 for ACO.
yeah.
Article 16, it'll be the grand total with the paving projects, there are carryover.
Yeah.
Line items on this, the carryover for the road and the paving, the gravel and the paving. We're gonna carry over 480,000 over, and appropriate 355,500 for the overall, so grand total will be the last year, this fiscal year, 819 to 830 for next year. 203,560 for the transfer station. We really need to have discussion about getting our own truck. Because
Absolutely.
just our trucking is $80,000 a year. And didn't we just get a, wish Cliff was here. We just had another 2 that were not counted, because people are definitely cleaning up their trash.
Yep.
So. Let's raise it, Article 18, any unexpended funds from Public Works to the Public Works capital improvement. Article 19, Selectmen's overlay and divided into the capital improvement. Article 2160 towards paving. And actually, you get to see this, happy to see it, use the LRAF funds to offset that, which is usually anyone's 51 to 54,000. Article 21, we already went over. Article 22, 18204 for planning board expenses. Article 23, 1750 for the assessing. So everybody knows the assessing, that's just for legal training. Because their contract, he's also the guy that's doing our revow.
Yeah.
So that's in the article 8 for payroll. Article 24, carry over the 62.5 for the revow. 25, 74.50 for code enforcement. 26, 47, 120 for the community center. 27, 14, 995 for rec department expenses. This one here can highlight under Article 27, budget request with phone 16,155. Budget committee recommends the 14,995. Article 28, fitness center funds to roll over. Alvin, could you reach out and see if we can get numbers for all these rollover deals and I mean, rough numbers, I get it, because we still got 6 weeks left. So we're gonna have to be able to answer even when I ask.
On the
You want me
transfer
to
station,
call? You want me to ask Wanda for this information or?
Yeah,
RHR?
because we're gonna, well, no, RHR is just gonna want to give us the audit stuff,
Right,
so she should have action level.
okay.
Yeah. 50
yeah, can we take 50 out of the transfer station account
for what?
to lower that number?
Why?
Because we have it.
I mean, we have it.
You know, they're not, and well, that's from all the fees that they've charged.
No, the fees. just
Like
put
we're
it
paying
in-
the doctors, we're paying for the new,
Yeah, out of the reserve.
right, and why couldn't we take 50 out of the reserve account, lower that number? The money's there.
How much is in it? Where we just spent it on the
One,
compactors.
I forget what's still
Still, I
left.
mean,
Yeah.
because it was all 115 or 120 for the compactors.
And I think
So
there's
how much
another,
left in there?
I think another 80 left in it.
I wouldn't cut it too short. Especially, well, especially if we're looking at
You,
a discussion on it.
Yeah.
you can make a motion at town meeting to lower that amount or to take money from the rollover. You don't need it in yet.
Right. We need the hard numbers.
Yeah, you'll need them for town meeting for sure.
Yes.
Yep. Yep,
That's how much we brought in so far.
I think so. Good.
Right. Beach center, rec department expenses, right, that one. 10,700 for water rec. Article 30, 32,7 for in-town organizations. Article 31, 11, 9, 13 for out of town. 32, rollover rate unexpended health insurance premiums kept on healthcare account, help offset future premiums. See if, in regards to that, could you reach out to the health and see if they're planning on a mid-stroke increase? Yeah.
The health trust,
Yes. I've read and seen that
Everybody
a
else is.
lot of places are doing that, so we may have to change that number.
okay,
So Article 33, 4% annually on taxes. 34, abated taxes 3%. 35 will be annual town meeting. Yeah, I got a question. Why do we, as a town, hold our town meeting at 7 o'clock on a work day?
And that was a long time.
Has it ever been asked if we could possibly get more participation if we did it on a Saturday? at
We
like
did 'em.
8?
we did do them on Saturdays and we had very low attendance,
Well,
really.
Yes.
So the-
Years back. we
it didn't
did-
change. We still don't know what that means.
Oh, they've been discussed.
It-
I've been
it
to a
has
lot of
come
them,
up.
so they're discussed and round they go.
Yeah, it has.
Okay, yeah, just a curious question on that.
It would be a good question to ask, you know,
Yeah.
perhaps
Yeah.
in a
Throw it out
survey
again.
thing, maybe in
Yeah.
the newsletter, they could.
I just want to throw it out there, I'm not old, you people ain't been around so long, so I get the experience to show that in town meetings.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I personally liked the Saturday, just to be honest with you,
Yeah.
one day done.
Yeah, I'm with
Me
you,
too.
I'm just curious,
Not too
you know,
midnight.
we're doing it at
Five.
7 o'clock. On a Wednesday, and, you know, that's a work day, and. Yeah, we all know how it happens. You get into about 9:30ish, it starts going downhill fast, man, and the last 15 articles up,
Done.
you spend it all.
After
So-
6:30, everything's fall.
Yeah, so, okay. Article 36, increase levy limit established for town by state law.
Yeah.
Article 37. Board of Selectmen accept and expend any grants, donations. State of town 38 is authorized Board of Selectmen on behalf of town to sell and dispose of property acquired by tax. Article 39, Selectmen dispose of any town owned personal property. Article 40 is the 12,944 for a 2024 summer camp junior guide outdoorsman program.
I have sent this article to our insurance company,
Yep.
just because I don't know whether we're covered for it.
I was thinking the same thing with
I
the
think-
pine tree and stuff.
They have not gotten back to me yet. I called her, I sent it 2 weeks ago. I called them today and said. And she said, we will get back to you as soon as we can.
Okay.
So we will, hopefully we'll know before town meeting.
Article 41. Board of Selectmen apply up to 700,000 of surplus to offset the fiscal year. Article 42 is the renovation of the community center. 1.6 authorized contributed amount not to exceed 25%. And the numbers are there.
I would like to say for Article 42.
Mhm.
That I think this is premature to be in this warrant this year.
So nothing's gonna happen until next year anyways.
Correct, and we already, I'm just kind of afraid everybody's trying to be fiscally responsible. And if we get the grant for the community center and we get the grant for the firehouse, the town can't really sustain
1.6.
that kind of an increase
1.4.
in 2 years.
Well, we've already got the article in here for the fire department. And you'll know, yours is already submitted, and that's, you'll know what March.
Yes.
So,
We've already,
There's that.
already passed the first round.
right,
So we're in.
so this article in here wouldn't have the grant
2 years.
even, yeah, so we're even out 2 years.
You're gonna apply, if you
So-
apply, it's in March, I think it is, Joe. March.
Yeah, March,
So
April.
next year, they won't know for the following year.
Correct,
You know, they
Yeah.
get it, or, so it takes a year,
yeah.
so mine would be next year.
So we're
It'd
ready.
be, no.
Well, give us feedback, see what
Sure,
other
right.
people think.
So
Right,
there's
if they wanna do
a
it.
couple things, and
Yeah.
the reason I suggested that article is Carlene has told us that she wants to know that the town is behind us. And by having that article, we're gonna know whether the town is or not. They're gonna vote for it. The second thing is, as you know, she's gonna be here next week on the 16th. And we're gonna inform her that we have this article, and we'll see what she has to say. So I would say if you could leave it right now, wait to see how things develop on the 16th. And, see what she has to say as far as alternate funds, because she wasn't referring to the same pot that, Dick is trying to get money from. She was looking for some type of alternative, and she might tell us, doesn't exist. And so therefore, it may be a moot point. But if we just wait till next,
Or you can put it in November in referendum. If you know something's gonna happen.
You could, but I think if you could wait till the 16th to find out, it'd be probably more definitive. we had more information to go on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Say we should leave it.
Yeah, see what happens. Go from.
Give them a heads up. Same question will be asked.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's just pushing about 2 years anyway. So at least they'll have the heads up, it's gonna cost X amount of dollars.
The other thing too is that, you can always table an article,
Mhm.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
Like something comes up and say, hey, we're tabling this because, and then move on from there.
Until
Right. Good. On board.
I know there's weird.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Eric?
Last 5 administrative assistants from Julie Watkins, Phil Tar, Jackie Samore, and Megan Witt, and Deb Merrill. All except Megan, who got an extra 10 hours a week when she was added as the assessor. They were all 30 hours a week. And when Alvina was hired in this position, it was immediately 40 hours a week. And she got vacation, she got benefits, she got everything where everybody previous to that for the past 10 plus years. And there is a job description for this job because Julie Watkins helped me develop the job description for the job when she left. And I believe she stated the job could be done in 25 to 30 hours a week. That's how the job description was written. Just curious what the rationality was for the full-time positions. And if there's been a 90-day evaluation done, and even apparently this evening, Zoom is still not up and working and not allowing people to participate, if I'm to understand what people that are trying to watch it are saying.
How long are you going for that one? Why it's 40 hours?
Why it's 40?
You told me the night that you hired me, this is a 40
I
hour.
said it was 30. You said it was 40.
As many weeks you work over that, won't you?
For the job to be done right, it needs 40 hours.
Plus,
I can tell you that. And there, you look in the
Lot going on.
file cabinets in there, they're a disaster.
There's a lot going on.
I will. I can't deny saying 40 hours. How will do that? That was, what, 8 months ago?
Yeah, and it was because you moved Megan to 40 and down wanted 40.
Well, the position was for 40 hours. That was, the extra 10 hours was voted at a special town meeting.
For assessor, which we performed on Mondays.
Correct. It's to that position. So,
But that position had more hats to it.
agreed. So I won't deny it for you. 9-day review, no,
You do that anytime.
I have not. No, I've never had.
Things been busy.
Um, What was it?
If Zoom is ever gonna be up and working properly.
I don't understand why it doesn't work.
I don't either.
No.
I mean, it shows that it's, the microphone down at the bottom shows that it's working.
And there are people that like to ask questions on Zoom, like to participate on Zoom, and apparently their questions always go unanswered.
Is there a law that we need to do Zoom?
no, that's the
People need-
benefit. If they want to know,
Hold on,
we try to assist, we're working with it.
Before you all say the law, I just want to make sure everybody understands. The Board of Selectmen signed a policy in the town of Brownfield for Zoom.
You did?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Look at the policy book. So. The Board of Selectmen did sign a policy letter for the Zoom. So, yes. Till that policy changes, it is a requirement. As far as it not working, I don't know. I'm not a computer tech. I don't know.
They've been posted. I've been posting them every week.
No, we'll get the tech back in and help us.
Figure it out.
Going forward, will the select board administrative assistant be 40 hours? Does that seem where it's headed?
It's 7 nights.
It's taken that much to do the job.
Plus,
But what does she do that the other people only needed 30 hours to do?
she's thorough.
Doing what?
I'm not gonna say anymore.
No.
So today, Jackie. Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a question.
You want to address me? You have a question? Okay.
The question is about Lynn Boyle's position. So originally, I know when the town agreed to do a bookkeeper, it was supposed to be for 1 year, and I know that the towns agreed to do that each year. So, my question is she performing tasks outside of a bookkeeper's position at this time?
There have been a few occasions where she has helped on Michelle's side to get people registered, and so they didn't have to come back another day.
Okay, so we're paying for things that.
She tried to stay within the 20 hours, I believe.
Well, we just agreed that she would do bookkeeping, though.
Haven't voted for a bookkeeping.
Yeah, but bookkeeping, not agreed to hours. We agreed to pay for bookkeeping to help Wanda.
Well, we can tell her not to help if that's what you want.
The bookkeeper position is hire and fire per the town treasurer. That is not the select board, it is not the select board's realm. There was an article specifically put in, voted upon, that Wanda or treasurer tax collector hire and fire that position. The select board has no input, has no ties to it. It is all handled from the treasurer tax collectors.
Okay, so that makes sense. So that would be why it would be a bookkeeper position, and she would assist where she was needed from a bookkeeper perspective to help her get caught up. So that's why we're paying, that's why the taxpayers were agreeing to help her where she needed help in bookkeeping. My other question is, if she's doing jobs that are outside of bookkeeping, where does the money come from to pay her for expenses outside of bookkeeping? And how much is spent on that? And
I can't answer that question right now.
and has she done work that she should be bonded for? And
I
is
believe she's bonded as the deputy treasurer. I believe she
the
is
deputy treasurer?
correct.
Is she
That's-
bonded to do?
As soon as they're bonded, the bond is to cover for cash, handling the cash checks, the financial stuff for the town. That's all encompassing.
Okay, good. Do I need to submit a FOAA to find out how much it's cost us extra for doing stuff outside of the bookkeeping?
I don't think that she's being paid. It's within that 20 hours that she is paid.
Well,
I.e. bookkeeping.
know what I'm saying,
I couldn't answer that question. She doesn't fall under the boards.
but it would go to Wanda to,
Yes, Wanda would be the one to ask the question. To answer the question.
okay, because you see where I'm going is that the town agreed to help Wanda by hiring a bookkeeper, because we were nice enough to help her out. And that's really where Lynn should stop. Right, it shouldn't include payroll, it shouldn't include helping Michelle out, it should.
Anything else? Anybody else? Bill?
We backpedal a bit and talk again briefly about this new position that is going to be formulated to assist Michelle and participate in the training for that. Does that include first of all, is there a job description for that, or is it going to be a mimic of Michelle's job description?
I think it's gonna be a mimic of Michelle.
Okay. So then it must include elections. Okay. And it's for 10 hours, 12 hours a week?
10 hours a week. That's what the article states.
So
The 21. I'll read the article again, just to.
no, it's okay.
No, that's all right.
20 hours.
Yeah, it's. No, it's $20 an hour.
10 hours,
It's-
$2.
To see its town vote to raise and appropriate the amount of $11,195 to hire a part-time employee to train and work for the town clerk and registrar. This is based upon a pay scale of $20 per hour for 10 hours a week for 52 weeks and includes 7.65 FICA. So it's 10 hours a week, $20 an hour.
So if Joe Biden can seriously be considered for president of the United States at age 81, then I'm assuming the town of Brownfield would have no ability to put age limitations on that position as well.
That's discriminatory.
Yes, that's right. Right.
It would necessitate going near a computer though, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Maybe.
right, and it,
That's it, sir. Yes, thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
second. You know, all in favor, yeah, good. We're done. Hang on to that.
Check on. You signing me. So.
I think we did, I think, we said the executed at the other end,
What's that?
the metal paper.
That's what he's talking about.
Oh,
Yeah. When she comes up and presents us the fine, we just put aside it.
yeah.
The one. Just sign it. Here you go. That's. Filing.
As far as I know.
Kid, how are they gonna take? They said they have 2 weeks.
All I have to do. The astronaut.
Strict, yeah. Oh, you're just gonna make the motion.
What gets up too, they got, she will get some. Yeah, if we want to look at the truck next.
I can't feel it. I everybody see what's next.
That's too bad.
I thought we were gonna get one.
All the money is really easy.
Can you pull it?
I can try.
So if I were to be trained, so that I would be registering people's
I mean,
vehicles.
we got 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Can you see that?
You know as well as. I
don't have a Hyundai.
I have some kind of guess on. What's gonna she move.
Yeah.
Aside, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, and then what we're at the top. Right, so we go, in town, over that. No, I know, well, I just happened to be looking. Eric, no, we're on that, like, why? So I'm that few days.